It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Good morning. Welcome to City Beat on this June 1st, 2017. My guest this morning is Deputy Mayor Kathy Valentino. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you guys?
It's great. Lovely sunshine out today. The good weather is finally here. Now let's talk about City Council last week.
Let's do it. I wasn't there. I had to send my regrets for that meeting. But let's talk about it.
This is one question you are more than capable and qualified to answer on the Liga committee. Could you clarify what that is? I know I didn't understand quite what it was when I started. I'm sure a lot of people listening don't have any idea what that is.
Okay. That was a great lead and it sounded like a game show. You're going to get this question. So Liga is...
We try to make things fun.
Yes. The Liga is called the Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, and it meets every 14 days. And the chair of the committee is the deputy mayor for that year, for the term. And it also has 2 members of council and the mayor and administration that sit on it. And it's every Wednesday. So there's no citizen reps on this committee. So every Wednesday we meet, not every Wednesday, every other Wednesday leading into city council. So we set the agenda for the council meetings. So any resolutions or anything that's come out of all of the committee meetings comes to Liga through the proper departments, and then we finalize the agenda if there's any delegations or any of the variation order stuff. So that all gets set from the Liga committee. Also on that committee, we have a provincial and federal lobbying effort listing. So we have like a chart, and it has all the provincial ministers and the federal ministers. So we repeatedly go through each name, minister, what they're responsible for, where we are with our advocating with them for certain issues, where we are with the follow-up, when was the last email sent to them, when is going to be a meeting. So we go through that whole listing too. That part's good. That's a good, interesting part of it is the provincial and federal lobby effort listings, for sure.
Continuing on talking exactly about that, the lobbying efforts with the province, there were a few meetings held during the last period in that report that was mentioned. Did the city accomplish what they wanted to with those meetings?
Okay, so because I wasn't at the city council meeting, I know that there have been some minister meetings with Minister Cullen, and he's part of the economic growth part for the province. So that was one of the meetings that were set up, and that had a lot to do with the province's help or lobbying efforts towards the birch tree closure. So that was 2 parts of that meeting, and the other part was some outstanding issues that we were waiting for some decisions on. And obviously one of them is we're waiting for land transfer tax and PST tax waiving of those fees from the province. And we are also, I can't remember the minister's name, there was a conference call or meeting regarding our CSO agreement, as Mayor Fensky was at the RCMP federal justice meetings. So our CSO agreements, we are waiting for some more legal advice on how we're going to have that inputted.
Now, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities June Northern District meeting is coming up shortly, and the entirety of council is going to be going to that meeting. Why is that?
Well, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, they have their June district meetings, and they go throughout, so we're the Northern District, throughout the regions. So this year, I think last year was in Snow Lake, so this year it's in Lynn Lake. So anybody can go, when any municipal office or elected official can go, and a CAO of a municipality can also attend and have a voting right. So I know for me, I've never been to Lynn Lake. So I think, okay, this is great. I don't mind going if there's a bunch of us going to drive. I've never been up there. Terrible of me to say that because I was born here, but I haven't been there. So it's just an opportunity. It interests me. I think they're a great association. So it's a whole personal, whatever people want. If they want to come along and go, so a bunch of us said, let's go. We'll support. We have 2 councillors who are putting their name forward. So as a council, we will go and support our Northern District and go to the meeting.
The Wolf and Carnivore Conference is coming up in the fall. It's hosted by Spiritway, who I believe are just wrapping up in the UK right now, going to be coming back home soon, I believe. Why is it important for the city to have representatives at the Wolf and Carnivore Conference? I believe councillors Claudia and Bayer are going to be there.
Yes, I think it was the direction of council that we are paying for the registration for 2 councillors to attend it. I believe it's in October here in Thompson. So I think that it's important for us to try and be at all events that take place in the city as much as we physically can possibly do. But we as a council have, I think, clearly had a mandate that tourism is a part of our mandate for this council to put some dollars towards it and some support towards tourism. Obviously, that's with our hotel association and some of those funding efforts that we've put into place. So I think that it's a great thing for us to support. As a council, we are supporting tourism, and it is something that was a top priority. So these two are the ones that put their name forwards. It was very clear that all councillors can attend. You just would have to pay your own registration fee, obviously, just like the rest of anybody that wants to attend.
Now, because the financial plan is in the process of being submitted and it's already been finalized, we're just getting into the technicalities and just the housekeeping for getting to the purchasing agreements. And as far as the city goes for the items, the handy van is one of these items. Why was the bid selected that was for the handy van?
Okay, this handy van finally, I'm so happy we're finally getting that. And just to backtrack a little bit, I even think this might have been an issue with the previous council. But when you get grant money or approval, we put in an application to get approval for the grant money. So if we would have went out to buy the handy van and then put in the grant approval, they wouldn't give us the grant money. So we had to wait for the approval from the province. So slow process. And it was frustrating on the Juniper Center's end and on our end because we really wanted the decision because we need the new handy van. So we have a legal tendering process to city. And when the bids come in, as long as the bid selection, the selection of whatever bid we recommend, as long as it follows all the specs in the tendering and in the legal tendering process, then that would be the one that gets selected.
Do you have any idea when we're going to see the new van on the streets?
From what they say there's not an exact date of when it will be delivery. That's the next long process. It's not something like you can just whip down there and pick up a handy van. You order it. So I know they were saying it would be like a good 12-week approximate process, so I don't know the exact date.
Hopefully this sometime before the fall starts.
Yeah, we got to make that a good press release when it finally gets here, because that's a really important thing for the city.
Have a ribbon cutting and everything.
Yeah.
Now, there will be the waiver of the waste disposal grounds for residential tipping fees. That's something part of this annual cleanup. When is this happening?
Okay. Can we just talk about the whole annual cleanup for a few minutes?
Of course.
Because the city's dirty. I get it. I know it is. It's dirty. It's starting to get green, but in the midst of the green, there's lots of garbage and lots of gravel on the roads and stuff. So I'm going to give you guys a little update on the whole thing.
Perfect.
As of this morning, with the street sweeping, we have 2 street sweepers, and they are both out, and with them comes the loader and the dump truck. So they hope to have Thompson Drive done soon, Princeton Drive, and the downtown area. And then they're going to head into the residential streets. Rumor has it, not confirmed, but rumor has it, Juniper is going to be the first residential area. I know. I was hoping for Westwood, but it's Juniper. So strictly a rumor. So they are out. They start at 6 in the morning. Be careful with the equipment. It's a slow process because the process is they get the gravel off of the grass and boulevards onto the road. So that happens first. Then they go along with the street sweeper. There is a lot of gravel and stuff in light of how much snow and stuff we had. Everything's more dirty, it seems. So they're going to have to do it a couple times. So that is being done, and be patient with that, but it is happening. Talk about community cleanup. Community's dirty. We all got to help out here because it's going to take many hands to clean our community up. So up until June 18th, we have the community cleanup going. Haven't had a lot of people register or businesses take part in that. But if you do want to, please go down to Public Works. You can register, and they will give you $3 a bag of garbage. And it's a good little fundraiser or a good little morale booster, even as people and as businesses. June 10th, we had to change our actual spring cleanup day because of weather. I think we always change it in May because it snows or rains or something. Actually, we should just have it in June. But anyways, June 10th, Saturday, Robin's Donuts. That is the day. Let's clean up our city because it needs it. It needs a little TLC. We can all help out. So that's the day, June 10th. Let's get everybody going and cleaning up stuff. And then when you talk about the garbage, or the landfill. June 5th to the 10th is when we're going to waive the fees to take your load of garbage to the garbage dump. I think it's a great idea. I got a couple loads at my house, so I think we should all take advantage of this. This did happen before in the past, and I don't think we've done it for a few years. So it'll be interesting to see if all of us who are complaining about how dirty it is, it's be interesting to see if we take advantage of some of this stuff. So please, as citizens and part of our community, let's clean it up.
And could you remind everyone what the fees usually are if they want to bring something outside of that period?
Yes. So if you take your half-ton truck, it's $10 for your load of garbage. So you could save $10 if you do it the week of June 5th to the 10th. And if you take your half-ton truck and you have a trailer of garbage with you, it's $21. And that's with a single trailer, and a double trailer with your truck is $21 also.
Moving on, now that we are in the nice weather and everything's starting to clean up, it's going to get dirty again because it's construction season. There's going to be construction in the Burntwood Trailer Court with their drainage works. What's going on, and when can residents expect that work to be completed?
Yeah, the Burntwood Trailer Court is going to have hopefully have the drainage issue construction work done this year. And part of the problem, and I mean, we all know that the roads there, they get so wet and full of potholes. So we can't move forward with continuing to asphalt and stuff in there until we fix the drainage problem. So they unfortunately had to scope back a little bit of the work because it came in at a cost more than we had budgeted for. So it will be starting, I believe it's starting, well, it's June today, so it's starting, I believe, mid-June that they're going to start doing the Burntwood Trailer Court, and that's going to be drainage issues that they are, I believe it's going to be more at the intersections areas that they're going to start with.
Moving on to the big announcement, the big thing for construction here in the town. It's one we've been waiting for a while. The wastewater treatment plant, that construction started today. What is going on, and when is it going to be completed?
So that did start today, and I think we've been doing a pretty good job. The city, we've put out the construction notices both for the Burntwood Trailer Court and for this wastewater treatment plant. So you will start to see a lot of heavy equipment coming into the city for the wastewater treatment plant construction. You'll see a lot of the trucks and stuff, and I believe it's going to be more of a Princeton Drive area. So careful residents and drivers going down there. There'll be some delays with traffic as they start to mobilize their equipment, which was to be starting today. There will be some, I believe it's going to be at council. Hopefully they're trying to get it for around the 19th. A little bit of a presentation and stuff with a timeline and pictures, and whoever the main contractor is, I can't remember, Bird, I think, is coming in to give us a little bit more of a timeline. I don't know the date when it will be completed. I don't know if they do today either, but obviously we will keep that updated as we keep up to date with that, because that's going to be obviously one of our biggest construction projects here for many years.
Now, you're here today because Mayor Fenske is in Ottawa. He's there with councillors Matichuk and Beyer, as well as City Manager Gary Sepitelli, and they're there in meetings until Sunday for the FCM Annual Conference and Trade Show. What is the FCM?
FCM is the Federal Convention for Municipalities. This year it's hosted in Ottawa because it's the 150th for Canada. And what it is, it's all municipalities, all cities, everybody goes, all the mayors across the country, all the CAOs across the country, all of city councilors, whether they send one rep, some people send all of their city councils, they all go. It's absolutely fabulous. Last year we were in Winnipeg. The year before it was in Edmonton. It's absolutely fabulous because of the reason you go into breakout sessions and breakout meetings, and you can go to things that pertain to your city. So, for instance, there will be one on infrastructure. It will probably be thousands of people there, and they will have people speak about different funding arrangements and different problems or red tape that they're having with the governments. Typically, the Prime Minister speaks on the Sunday, and the leaders of the opposition speak, and of the other parties. So it's an absolutely great thing to go to. It would be great if we actually had a rep to sit on some of their boards as the City of Thompson. I do believe it was Stella Locker that sat at the FCM level for many years. So it's great, and they will come back and it makes you feel like you're not in this alone, because everybody's going to be complaining about how they have to build wastewater treatment plants. Everybody's going to be complaining about their bridges, about transit. So it makes you feel like you're not alone, and it's a great opportunity to get some good ideas and to share and to network and to meet people. They'll come back feeling good about things for sure.
We keep talking about the weather here on City Beat, especially with you, it seems, whether it was in the winter with the blizzard.
I know.
When it was going back and forth between the snow and the melting and the potholes. Now it's the nice weather, which is always nice to talk about. I don't think I'll ever get tired about talking about bright sunshine. That means it's walk and run season. There's 2 of them coming up this weekend, and next.
Right. So this weekend on Sunday is the Gutsy Walk. Love the name of it, for Crohn's and colitis. So that's this Sunday. And then next Saturday is the Walk for Depression. And that's a little bit more through the NRHA that is spearheading that one. They both have websites or even probably Facebook pages. So if people want to donate or find out the information about times and locations, but it is a great thing. If you're out walking, you may as well participate and be in these kind of walks, because they are for a very, very good cause.
Well, and as Josh has been saying all morning here on the station, why not kick off the Commuter Challenge with the Gutsy Walk?
Yes, I was actually checking the Commuter Challenge, and I'm going to be bringing that up at the office today, that maybe we should join on board with that. I think that was pretty neat. I think everybody should have a look at it was on your Facebook page, right? Yeah, everybody should check it out.
And you can always just go on the internet and Google, as most people do for most things in life now, for Gutsy Challenge, the Depression Walk, Commuter Challenge, everything. It's all on the internet.
That's right. You're right.
And do you have any other announcements from City Hall that you wanted, or messages?
Yeah, I do. Just a few things. Last week we hosted the Manitoba Games Host Society. They were up here and did their first Host Society tour. We had about 8 out-of-town guests. They did 2 days of workshops and toured our facilities. There was about 80 people there. I gave greetings and kicked off the weekend. I think you may have seen the press release that we have some sponsorship and Friends of the Games that have jumped on board. So the Manitoba Games Committee is right on track. They are right on track to the date they should be. Good job to them. Moving forward, they will be meeting again in June, and then we will have everybody back for Sport Manitoba here again in November for their last big checkup. You're going to start to hear lots about the Manitoba Games. We're going to be really recruiting for volunteers, so please, everybody, pay up attention to that. This weekend we have a fundraiser down at the VRCC. It's one of the local daycares. I apologize, I can't remember the name. I drive by your sign every day.
Is it Kitty's North?
Is it Kitty's Northern?
Kitty's Northern, I
Kitty
believe.
Northern Daycare, and it's Touch a Truck. I think they have about 12 trucks committed. So ambulances and fire trucks, and you can go down there. It's a great fundraiser. If you want to take your family out and check it out, I think it's great for kids. It's going to be a neat thing down there. It's their second time doing it.
Sounds like a dream for a little Stuart
know.
back when I was that age. And again, this is something I saw on Facebook, but a reminder from them, it is not a competition to see who can keep their hand on the trucks the longest. I had to point that out. I can see some people going down there and trying to do that to win prizes. But that is not what it is for. It is for the kids to have fun.
Absolutely. That's good. And I think they have hot dogs and face paint. They have a whole big thing down there. So if you're out and about, go support that. We also have a grand opening tomorrow of a new location or a second location for ET Blades. And there's going to be barbecue and stuff down at the Giant Tiger Mall. And his grand opening is going to be tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Kathy.
You are welcome. You guys have a good weekend.
And so if you have any questions for next week's City Beat, email them in advance to chtemnews@arcticradio.ca. For 1029 CHTM, I'm Stuart Walter.
City Beat will be back next Thursday.